What's going on, you guys? What's going on? What is going on, you guys? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 11, Episode 12. What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Saturday, and I intend on doing the exact same thing, even though I spent most of my day at work. Don't you hate that? Don't you just hate when you gotta work on a weekend and you spend most of your goddamn day at work? It's annoying. It's very annoying. It's annoying as fuck. But I got home from work around like 8 o'clock and I had to turn around and basically rewind Love and Marriage Huntsville so I can watch it. And then I finished watching in time for T's live. But what I want to do right now, I know it's only 37 of you guys in here so far, and it's like a little bit over a minute into this review, but I do want to take out the time to send a special shout out to one of my moderators, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite moderators. They're always checking in on me a lot, and they're always peeping out when something is wrong. And I don't be expecting it from the Scotty Gang, but there's a lot of Scotty Gang people that actually do DM me or inbox me and ask me what's going on if they feel that my energy is off. But it's one in particular that's always doing it. And this week they graduated. And I want to spend a very, very special shout out, as my girl K Michelle would say, very special. A very special shout out to Payne. Payne is one of my moderators. He's been a moderator of mine now for the last maybe 2 years, maybe. He's been a moderator of mine, always checking in, always in the chats, always supportive, always doing what moderators do, just always around. So let's give Payne some love today because he graduated the other day. So shout out to Payne. I think he graduated from college. Shout out to Payne. Love me some Payne, girl. Love me some Payne. Just wanted to send a special shout out to Payne. Let me see what else is going on here. But I had to do that before we even got started with anything, honey. I had to show him some love. The Scene ATL, they had auditions today. That's all I gotta say about that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hold on. But yeah. Let me see what moderators are in here because y'all know I got a million of them. Let me see who's all up in here. Besides Payne, I see Ravine is in here. I see Norris in here. I think it's just Payne, Ravine, and Norris. I think those are the only moderators that are here. So now that we're at the 4-minute mark, we got 70 people up in here so far. So what I'm going to need for the people to do, I'm going to need for Payne, Norris, and Ravine to make sure that the chat is clean. I need for them to make sure that everybody's engaging. And if it's 70 of y'all up in here, we need 70 people up in here, engaging and chatting. But also, we need the fire emojis in this chat as we go into the 5-minute mark. Okay. So that's what we need. We need those. We definitely do. We need those fire emojis right now. Let's fire this chat up. Ravine, you think I'm gonna tell you who was picked? Girl, I'm not telling you that. But just know season 2 gonna be good. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the tea for tonight. Let's go ahead and get into this review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I got my notes right here. So let's go ahead and get into it, honey. So we start off with Kimmy and Maurice. Kimmy and Maurice are two of the most boring people on this damn season. I don't know why they still here. I think they need to be gone because they're just not doing it for me. And the thing was, I used to definitely root for Kimmy all the time. Like, I literally used to root for Kimmy. But for whatever reason, she's really turned me off to her. And this episode is pretty much showing me why she's turned me off. But anyway, her and Maurice, they're planning the trip, and it's basically going to be like a retreat style, trip or whatever. And in so many words, Maurice says that the group is fractured and they just need a reset. The facts are the facts. The truth, the group is really fractured right about now. It is. You got Maurice and I'm not Maurice. You got Marceau and Martell. They're not really speaking. Tisha don't fuck with Martell. Kimmy don't fuck with Martell either. There's Tisha and Destiny. There's Tisha and Nell. There's Kimmy and Nell. There's Chris and Marceau. Like a lot of people in the group, they actually have a whole lot of friction and a whole lot of tension within themselves. So they need this retreat. But they always try to bring these trips out so the group can get back together. But they never get back together because these girls and these people genuinely don't like each other. And in my opinion, that is totally okay that the girls don't like each other. A trip ain't gonna fix shit. A retreat ain't gonna fix it either. I think that with these shows, I get that we're working together on the show, but I don't think that we need to force anything. And I've said this 1,000 times on my Love and Marriage Huntsville reviews, but the show used to be so good. I started reviewing the show during the pandemic. The second half of the second season is when I started reviewing the show. It was so good back then. It was must-see TV back then. Season 3 was good. Season 4 was good. Right around the time I think the show started to take a little dip, right after that whole fiasco that went down at Destiny's grand opening with Mel and Miss Wanda. I think it went downhill from there. Like from that season that happened, it was never the same no more. Bringing Kiki on here, it just wasn't the same anymore. It just went flat from that point on. Then it got so bad to where Mel really didn't like nobody on the cast. So then they had to have a whole emergency meeting and try to say, we're going to have to figure out a way for all of y'all to be on this cast together. We're going to have to figure out how y'all going to have to try to get along. And once they forced that upon them, it wasn't good no more. Because we know that these relationships were fake. Mel don't like Tisha. Why she having dinner with her? Like it became like that. Like you could tell that they didn't like each other, and Mel didn't like none of them people. And that is one of the reasons why I always said Mel need to exit stage left and get her own show, because this ain't working. But of course, when I would say that, the people would get upset with me when I would say it and be like, well, she created the show, and why she gotta leave? Why the rest of them can't leave? She the one that don't like nobody. Everybody else is cool. Why not remove yourself from the situation? But whatever. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But however, y'all, let's continue. So they discussed Tisha and Marceau not seeing eye to eye. But Tisha and Marceau been not seeing eye to eye. I'm trying to see where's the confusion at with this. Like, why are we surprised that Tisha and Marceau not seeing eye to eye? They've been not seeing eye to eye. They never see eye to eye. Like, Marceau always wanted Tisha to be some Stepford homemaker while he was out here bringing home the bread and bringing home the bacon so she can cook it. He never wanted her to be more than what she was. He always felt like she was like inferior to him in my eyes. That's the way that I used to see it, because when I first started reviewing this show, I'm telling you, I could not stand Tisha. I thought that she was a whiny little brat. I thought that Marceau thought that he was her daddy. And she was just irritated, and she always needed Miss Wanda to fight her battles all the time. And she acted like she didn't have no heart or no backbone. And when she was into it with Kimmy, it was so annoying because she wanted so much from Kimmy that she couldn't give to Kimmy herself or give to anybody else. So it was motherfucking irritating, and I just didn't like that. It was just like she was just completely irredeemable to me, and I just never liked it. But the thing was, I started feeling bad for her as we continue, because the cheating rumors kept coming out, and it just felt like, Mel was doing a lot of sneaky ass shit too, and it was just irritating. So it was just like, okay, what's going on here? But this season just reminded me as to why I did not like Tisha when I first started reviewing the show. She is fucking irritating. Marceau feels like he doesn't have a partner. What do you want? Because you say you feel like you don't have a partner. but yet you never wanted Tisha to be your partner. You always wanted her to be your do girl. That's what the fuck you wanted. You didn't want a partner. You wanted a motherfucking do girl. That's what you wanted. So I'm trying to understand Marceau. He's saying he don't feel like they're doing anything together, but that was never something that he wanted. He always wanted her to be in the background while he was in the goddamn foreground. That's how it came across to me. So I'm trying to understand where's this togetherness that Marceau was fucking looking for, because he never wanted that. He never desired that from the very beginning. So why is he desiring the shit now? I don't understand it, but okay. Then Kimmy starts saying, can we leave Martell off the list? But Maurice doesn't want to leave Martell off the list because he feels like Martell hasn't shown out. But Martell ain't showed out because ain't nobody filming with the bitch ass nigga. That's why he not showing out. He ain't got the space to show out because ain't nobody paying his ass no mind. They're not filming with the young lady. So that is why he hasn't shown out. Like, what we talk about, Maurice? What we talk about? That's why he ain't showing out. Ain't nobody filming with him. And I don't blame Kimmy for not wanting his ass around. You shouldn't want him around either. He wasn't just talking about Marceau in that interview that he did with that girl with the 3 chins. He was also talking about you too. So why the fuck you want him around so bad? Is it something you got to hide? I don't understand these people in their undying loyalty to Martell when Martell don't show them no loyalty at all. But okay, whatever. Moving on, we're at the retreat and everybody arrives. So Martell and Destiny was having a conversation, and Destiny was like, well, how do you feel about, your cabin being right up there with the Scotts? Like, are you worried about that? He said, man, what's going to happen? I ain't worried about the Scotts. I ain't worried about my house where my living quarters at. I ain't really worried about the fact that my living quarters is up there by the Scotts. But at the end of the day, I just feel like this. I feel like with me being up there, we could probably mend things and solve things and just move forward. But Destiny thinks that it's either Martell is being delusional or he's being optimistic. But I go for delusional. To be honest, I don't think that Martell and the Scotts will ever be cool. I don't think that there's any way that they could ever just be on the same page because too much has happened. And to be honest, I don't really need them to be cool. I honestly don't. I don't really need them to be cool at all. I just think that they just need to leave well enough alone and stop trying to be friends. Because the friendships don't never last because the shit is fake. That's why they never last. You feel what I'm saying? That's why it's never really much in my eyes that they could do. They can't do anything to convince me that they're going to be friends because they're not going to be. You feel what I'm saying? So I do think that Destiny has a point when she says that she feels like Martell is being delulu. I kind of think the same damn thing because, girl, what? You really think that y'all gonna be cool? You can't think that. You can't ever think that y'all gonna be cool. Like, that's crazy. But okay. So then Maurice says that Trish is not in the best of spirits right now. And then I think it's Kimmy and Tisha that wants to know, well, why isn't she, in the best of spirits? Like, what's going on with that? And so that's when Maurice was like, well, the divorce is final. And that's the reason why her mood is off. And I don't think it really feels good at this particular moment. So Kimmy says, well, I want to have dinner tonight. I want to get everybody together. We're going to have dinner. We're going to eat because, this is the first night. The first night with any trip, we're going to relax and just chill out. We don't have to do too many activities, but we will be doing activities later on down the line. But right about now, we're going to just have dinner. We're going to eat. We're going to burn stuff. We're going to burn things that we need to burn and just get some of those things up off of us. And I was wondering why Trish was stressed out about the court date. I guess it's because, divorces are not something to be happy about, regardless of what's going on. I think that sometimes, and I've never been through no divorce before, but this is just me on the outside looking in. Sometimes I feel like people, because people were saying that divorces are like a death, and it's kind of like it's like a ray of emotions that you go through when you're dealing with a divorce. And to me, I definitely get that. I do believe that there is a such thing as divorces feeling like a death. I do feel that way. And I do think that it's pretty unfortunate that that's what's going on here. I do understand where Trish is coming from in a sense, but I think that for some people, divorces make them happy. I know when my mother got her divorce from my stepfather, she was damn happy. Okay, she was happy to leave him, but that's because my stepfather put her through 2 decades of bullshit. So I understand why she was, happy. But I guess it just depends on the relationship and how everything went as to why you would be happy and why wouldn't you be happy, I guess. And Trisha was with Marquez for most of her life, pretty much. So maybe that's maybe that's the emotional part. Maybe, I mean, I don't know, but that's just what I think. But we can move on. So we're at the first activity, and they're writing things and burning things. Basically, writing things that what is it? Um, writing down things that probably makes, things that they want to get rid of and stuff like that, and they want to burn it. So I like these type of exercises. You feel what I'm saying? I kind of like these type of exercises. It's very therapeutic, if you ask me. You feel what I'm saying? So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So Martell did not write a poem, but he said he wanted to speak on someone that's not there. He says that he feels the love in the air and he's happy. Now, when he said, I want to speak on somebody that's not here, I was like, are you talking about Saints and Sinners? Or are you talking about Ariane? Because who's the person that's not here? But of course, Martell did not want to show any emotion. He didn't want to show no feelings or anything like that because he's just not a motherfucker with feelings. So Ken says that he appreciates the group. He really didn't know none of these people like that. But once he got into the group and had these friendships with these people, it really shows that they do show up and show out for each other. And he loves that. And he would like to see more of that. I would not want to be friends with none of these people. No, for real. I wouldn't dare want to be friends with none of these people. Do you hear me? Why would I ever want to be friends with these people? It's odd that, I'm not saying that it's odd for him to want to be friends with these folks, because that's not what I'm saying. I would not want to be friends with none of these folks because they're not good people. Is it just me, or are they're just not good people? Like, they don't give good people. Like, they just give like they are just terrible people, and who would want to be friends with them? That's the way I feel, because I'm just like, girl, these folks are no good. And Ken, you just got a big heart, big as your chest is, because these motherfuckers are not good people. They're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. So, no, ma'am. I would not want them to be in my space. Destiny then wrote a poem about herself, and I thought it was a heart-wrenching poem. Sometimes you have to talk to yourself and give yourself that credit and tell yourself that you love yourself, because sometimes if you don't give yourself that love, how can you expect? Because a lot of us want love and affection and things like that when we don't show it to ourselves. How do we expect for people to love us and appreciate us when we don't have the capacity to love and appreciate our damn selves? Those are the questions that I always have. How can we expect somebody to love us and care for us and think about us when we don't care or think about ourselves? You feel what I'm saying? So I'm glad that she wrote that poem to herself. That's a way of appreciating you. Marceau then speaks love into Letitia. He basically says that, it's kind of like, I've always hold on. But for 20 years she has given him love and done this for him and done that for him and all of those different things. Sometimes, and I hate to be that person, but sometimes when it comes down to Marceau, I don't know what's real and what's not, because I'm so used to Marceau gaslighting Letitia and not really showing her the affection and the love that she tries to give to him. It's so odd, because even when he's being vulnerable, it doesn't feel like it's real. You feel what I'm saying? Anyway, but yeah, it's sometimes it's just hard to decipher that. Like, it's like, is he being for real? Like, does he really care about Tisha? Does he really feel these things for Tisha? Or is he just playing the game? That's how I be feeling sometimes. I never know what's real and what's not when it comes down to Marceau. And I hate, like I said, I hate to be that person because he don't show her no love. It always looks as though Marcel was getting Tisha getting on his nerves, if that makes sense. It comes across like she's getting on his nerves, and that's just not good, if you ask me. It's not. So I don't know. That's just me. Nell thanks Kimmy for inviting her on this trip, although they have not been getting along and they have not been seeing eye to eye. She appreciates it regardless. You feel what I'm saying? And Kimmy thanks her for that. Letitia then tributes Marceau. And I feel like Letitia is being genuine when it comes down to Marceau. I think that she's being genuine because I think that she really does love him. But in the same breath, sometimes I feel like Letitia and Marceau comes across performative. I don't know why it feels that way, and it could be because of the things that we have seen throughout our time watching this show. It does come across performative. I hate to say that, but it does, because Marceau does one thing and does the other, and then Letitia been calling him out for not really doing the right thing and doing what he's supposed to do either. So it's kind of like, okay, so what's real? Like, is he really a good husband to you, or are you just trying to play it up for the cameras so we can feel like he's doing you right as far as your marriage goes? Because I feel like Letitia feels like she has a lot to prove when it comes down to her marriage to Marceau, because a lot of people have discounted that marriage and always felt like it wasn't real and that he didn't really see it for her. It just, I don't know. It comes across like they just be playing games with the people. That's how it looks to me. And like I said, I could be completely out of bounds, because my opinion is my opinion. My opinion is not in the Bible. It's not any of that shit. But it just comes across to me like it's all a game. It's all a front and all that. And this is coming from a person who doesn't like for people to be speaking on their relationships and things like that. But the thing is, I'm doing a review, so I don't know, but it just don't seem real to me at all. Like, it's not, because Marceau just gives, Marceau gives too many red flags for me. And not to mention, he always finds a reason to not be around Tisha and finds a reason to leave her behind. And then it's just like she irritates him. And now it's looking like he's irritating her, is what it's looking like now. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just reaching a little bit and I'm just not really seeing. I might be looking way too deep into it. I don't know, but they come across performative. I don't know why. Kimmy then speaks of her relationship with Trish and how she's getting to know Trish and how she may not know every single thing about Trish. She's appreciative of this growing friendship that they have. And I wasn't expecting that, but I thought that was cute. Like, I do feel like they have been getting to know Trish and really, for the most part, sitting there and just trying to make her feel good and to make her feel like she belongs in this group. Because last year it was very shaky. We wasn't really sure if she belonged in a group or not, but it seems like she's found her place in the group, in my opinion. Chris then speaks life into Martell. He gives Martell this lovely speech about their friendship and how grateful he is, and he understands why Martell can sometimes be the way that he is at times. And, he just wants him to know that he has a friend in him. And Martell was very appreciative of Chris, giving him that appreciation. And he was appreciative of Chris acknowledging the friendship, because I do feel like Martell don't think that he has friends in that group. And he really don't have many friends in that group at all. Like, he don't. But I just feel as though and I think he don't have no friends in that group because of the shit that he has already done. Like, the shit that he did is the reason why it ain't really no friends for him in this group. And sometimes you just got to take accountability for the things that you do. And That's the problem with Martell. He doesn't take accountability for the things that he do. But I guess it's a great thing that Chris is giving him the love that he wants, like as far as like a brotherhood, because he don't have that with nobody else. And I think that's just what it is. So when it comes, that's how I feel when it comes down to it. He wants friends, and he doesn't have that with Martell, and he doesn't have that with Maurice. I mean Marceau, and he doesn't have that with Marceau. And I don't really think he has it with Ken. Like he's getting to know Ken, but he ain't really got it with Ken like that. Like he's still getting to know him. But all in all, I thought that was pretty good. And I know, we don't like Martell. We don't like Martell for the most part. None of us really likes Martell. So for the most part, we don't really give a fuck if he has friends or not. But I do find myself loving the fact that a person who don't really have no friends has somebody that sees them. So I got to $5 super chat. Okay, thank you for that. And it says, I think Tisha and Marceau project their childhood trauma on their shoulders, and granted, we all have them, but I think their performative nature comes from that. And to be honest, I agree. I think that a lot of times, I think a lot of times we do allow that childhood trauma to project. We do project a lot of stuff that we went through in the past into our present. And I know I'm a person that do that. And I'm aware of that. Just because I'm saying I'm doing it don't mean I agree with me doing it. I have to figure out a way not to. But sometimes that does happen. So I definitely agree with this. Definitely. Trisha wrote a letter to her parents and her sister. And I must say that was so heartfelt. Because Trish has endured a lot of loss. Her parents, a sibling, she's endured a lot of loss. And that's why she has this rough exterior. It's very hard. She's very hardened, in my opinion. Like, she's a very hardened individual. And a lot of times when a person is hardened, it's because they already went through some shit already and nothing really phases them. And it's sometimes hard to break those walls down. So I thought this was very vulnerable of her. And I really love that she wrote that to her parents and her sister. I love that for her. Later on, Kimmy and Maurice, they speak about Martell not participating in the poem. And Maurice, once again, was making excuses for Martell and saying that he's never been an emotional person. So him just saying a little bit that he did say was enough. Will arrives, and right now I'm trying to understand why the fuck is Will even here. Will is annoying. And to think that I used to like Will when he first came on the show, but I don't like Will anymore. I think he's hella annoying. I think that he's a bitch ass nigga, and I just feel like he is toxic as fuck. And I don't really like him. I don't even know why he's on this goddamn trip. But that's just me. Let me see. So then he comes over to Destiny's little cabin. He walks in, sees her bed. She got a jacuzzi, a hot tub in there. And he was like, have you ever gotten a hot tub with a friend? I'm like, Will, please. Anyway, there's this second activity there in a cave somewhere. Don't nobody care. So now they're on the boat. And the girls are on a boat and the men are on a boat, right? So Destiny says that Tisha went too far with her. She disrespected her way too many times, and that is why they're at the place where they at. But Tisha says that she wants to move forward. You don't want to. Destiny has tried to move forward with you. You have made it humanly impossible for anybody to make amends with you. Because the thing about Tisha is that Tisha doesn't take accountability. Tisha doesn't hold herself accountable. And it's always somebody doing something to Tisha, but it's not really Tisha doing something to somebody else. And I don't like that about a person. Girl, you are just as wrong as you say Destiny is. And the thing is, you want people to pick a side and have your back and do all this other stuff when it doesn't even cause for that. Because when it come down to Nell, you were wrong. And when it came down to Destiny, you were wrong. And you want to say that you never asked her to pick a side when it came down to Martell, but you did ask her to pick one when it came down to Neil. Who the fuck are you to ask somebody to pick a fucking side? Like, who the fuck are you, Tisha? Like, you are the problem. What you fail to understand is that you are the problem. You are the reason. You are the reason. And it's just irritating to me. It's irritating as fuck to me. You feel what I'm saying? Because you don't own shit, you don't take accountability, and you never really see the error of your own motherfucking ways. Because you got a lot of errors in your ways, and you never want to call those things out. But you're so quick to call out what the fuck somebody else got going on. Tisha, shut the fuck up. Because I'm sick of you. Like, you whine so much, and there is no resolve with you because it's your way or the motherfucking highway. And this ain't Burger King. And that's something you're going to have to realize. It's just irritating. Hold on, y'all. But anyway, yeah, she gets on my nerve. So we're moving on to the guys' vote. And Marcel asked Ken if he can console Trish through this divorce. And they was basically talking about how she was out of it due to it. Ken says that yes, the divorce is one thing, but I told her that it's not over because it's not. Maurice said that he didn't think he would be sad when he filed for a divorce. Martell says that he's still hurt by his. Then they started talking about the spinning the block conversation, and Ken says that he could not be mad at Trisha for doing the same thing that he did. And all the men is like, what? What are you talking about? How can you be okay with what she did the same way that she had to be okay with what the fuck he did? See, that is the problem. Men feel like they can do whatever they want, and the woman cannot do the same thing that they did. And Martell should be the last motherfucker speaking on any infidelity of any kind in anybody's relationship. You need to be the last person speaking. Shut the fuck up, because you don't have no right speaking on nothing or nobody and what they got going on in their relationship. It's just no. It's just irritating. It's just like, to me, it's just like, baby, what, what are you doing? Like, that's what I be saying. Like, what the fuck are you even doing right now? Because it's like what you mean? Like, you feel like you can do whatever you want, but can't nobody do the same thing you doing? And they mad at Ken for looking at it that way. Ken looking at it the exact same way. I don't even know why everybody keep on talking about this spin the block situation anyway. Like, move on. Tisha says that Destiny wanted her to take whatever Nell was given. That is not what Destiny wanted. Destiny then says that she was pushed. And she was, because Tisha kept disrespecting her. She already called her a hoe in a box. And then she came over there to that property and talking about some she didn't know that it was hers, that she was trying to sell. Like, Tisha been disrespectful. Then Tisha keeps on bringing up that shit that she said to Kimmy, and Destiny keep on telling her that it was a joke and it wasn't that serious. And then Tisha is like, Tisha still going back to that. And Destiny did apologize to her for feeling something, for making her feel away, but it was a joke. And it wasn't that serious. And Kimmy knew that it wasn't serious. It's crazy. Like, because she felt the same exact way. They all know that Tisha is like that. And then she's still holding on to that. Like, girl, please. Anyway, Let me see what else was said. Um, they asked if Chris and Marceau are good. Chris and Marceau hash things out. Maurice says that Marceau really thought that he was going into business with Chris, and Chris said that was never relayed to him. They have a conversation. They make up. Tisha then apologizes to Destiny, and then Destiny says that Tisha discredited her as a woman, and Tisha feels like, you don't think you did anything wrong? Destiny said, I don't, and I've apologized to you enough. I'm not apologizing no more. Thank you, Destiny, because Tisha wants somebody to kiss her ass. That's really what it all boils down to. She wants someone to kiss her motherfucking ass, and that's just not it. Like you can't make nobody kiss your motherfucking ass. Like that's just not even the tea. Like you can't make nobody kiss your motherfucking ass. That's just not it. And that's just what she wants. She wants somebody to kiss her motherfucking ass and just go down with whatever she's getting down with. Like that's just what it is to me. So then but I don't blame Destiny for being done apologizing. So dinner starts. Kimmy asked the guys what happened on the boat. And she was so eager to ask the guys what happened. Marceau says that they can get past things. And, Marceau says something to Martell. Then Ken says that he always wanted to see Martell and Marceau have a positive relationship. And Kimmy says that she feels like the guys are sweeping things under the rug. I don't feel like they're sweeping things under the rug. I really feel like the guys that needed to have the conversations, they had them. You're just looking to cook up some motherfucking mess. Is what the fuck you're trying to do, Kimmy. This entire situation, I'm looking at Kimmy like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And what is the point of you doing it? Because why are you even, because she just kicking up shit. And my thing is, why are you kicking this shit up? So then, Kimmy then brings up what Martell did as far as laugh at him about the accident story. And the thing is, Martell starts laughing. Destiny is laughing. Chris and Nell, everybody's at the table laughing. But Maurice is giving all of his energy to Martell. And I'm like, so you're not going to say nothing to nobody else at the table because all of them was getting a cackle on, laughing at your situation. So you ain't going to say nothing to nobody else. You're just going to give all this energy to Martell. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all know I'm not here to take up a Martell at any moment. But for me, it's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you just giving it to him? Because everybody at that table laughed at it. And Kimmy, I'm going to be honest. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't even be arguing. You started this shit. You started this shit. You started all this bullshit. If it wasn't for you, they would have never argued. They were just fine until you brought that up. Kimmy is messy as fuck. And I never thought that I would ever see the day. And you want to talk about sweeping shit on the rug, why you and your husband ain't talking about that last time y'all had that conversation sitting outside that restaurant when he was playing in your face? What about when he did not care about your health? You're dealing with cancer, and all he gave a fuck about was going inside your guts. Not thinking about the fact that you're tired from radiation and chemo and all this other shit that you had going on. When are you gonna really address that shit? Or are you talking about some shit being swept up under the fucking rug? Kimmy, go to hell. Baby, she irked me so bad. And that's it. That's all is to be continued, though, because, like, Maurice, why in the fuck? I'm just like, why are you going at Martell? Like, why are you going at him? I'm not understanding of the situation. But okay. It is what it is. Just causing mess. But, y'all, that's all I got for tonight's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It started getting good towards the end. And I'm so glad that the finale is next week. Oh, God, I'm so glad. But anyway, y'all, That's pretty much it. That's all that we got going on at this moment, you guys. So be sure to support my best friend Sammy. He has a t-shirt line on Etsy called Shifted. Make sure you guys go and support, and make sure you guys support me. My book is out and available on Kindle Books and Amazon. With that being said, you guys, this is your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. And if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out of here, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.